Hello, and welcome to this short lesson about fad diets, taught by Sarah Devine, educator and diploma in weight loss. So, this is going to be short and sweet, but it's going to tell you the truth as to why fad diets don't work. So, the first thing we have to do is explain what exactly is a fad diet? Well, essentially, it's a weight reduction diet that'll eliminate essential food groups. So often we'll see fad diets eliminate carbs, sometimes they'll eliminate fats, depending on the diet you're on or somebody is on. Now, often with a fad diet, they'll recommend one type of food in excess. Eat loads of protein, eat loads of fiber, whatever the fad diet is. And it'll lack basic nutrition principles as well. So it does not prioritize health because it'll focus on ingesting fewer calories instead. So a fad diet focuses on losing a substantial amount of weight in a short period of time. And even worse, most fad diets are generally not endorsed by medical professionals. So, what classifies a fad diet? It's a temporary quick fix that is highly restrictive. And research has shown that fad diets can even cause an eating disorder in some people. So, this restriction from a fad diet may cause someone to binge from restricting certain food groups. And the most popular fad diets we see these days include the Atkins diet, the Zone diet, vegetarian diet as well, vegan, the Weight Watchers diet, South Beach, raw food, and Mediterranean, just to name a few, but there are many more. Now, I'm not saying that these fad diets are necessarily bad for us. So you can technically follow these diets if you have some nutrition education, if you've researched them thoroughly and you adjust them accordingly and find that they work for you. But what happens is that most people are desperate, looking for a quick fix, not educated in nutrition and not researching these diets properly, and therefore they leave out foods and vital nutrients. Okay, so what you need to do is find food that complements the diet so you're getting all of your nutrients. But what people tend to do is pick out parts of the diet they believe works best for them, and then they can become undernourished. And this may cause them to crave certain foods, leading the diet to become unhealthy, and then eventually leading the dieter to binge. The paleo diet is one example of a very popular diet. So it emphasizes whole foods and lean proteins, veggies, fruits, nuts, and seeds, while generally avoiding processed foods, sugar, dairy, and grains. There are some flexible versions of the paleo diet that will allow unprocessed dairy like cheese and butter and maybe a little bit of potatoes. But paleo dieters automatically eat much fewer carbs if they follow this diet and more protein, and on average may consume about 300 to even 900 fewer calories per day. Well, what's the problem? The downside to the paleo diet is that it eliminates whole grains, legumes, and dairy. It's unnecessary. It eliminates several healthy and nutritious food groups as well. So you don't have to be on a diet to lose weight, okay? Now, what about the Dukan diet? It's another very popular diet, but the problem with this one is that there's very little quality research available on the Dukan diet. It'll eliminate both fat and carbs to a very, very large degree. And this strategy, it's not based on science. On the contrary, consuming fat as part of a high protein diet seems to increase our metabolism in the long run, especially compared with low carb and low fat diets. So, why do diets tend not to work? The thing is that diets focus on what you can't eat, and they ban or severely cut down on certain food groups. So we see gluten-free diets becoming very popular or restricting carb diets. But unless you're allergic, there's not necessarily any reason you need to cut out a food group because you're going to unnecessarily eliminate certain nutrients that in the long run is not going to help you lose weight and sustain the weight loss. So, even if you've ever been able to stick to a low calorie diet for a long period of time, eventually you may have noticed the scales stop moving. One of the biggest issues I hear about is people trying to lose weight quickly by severely cutting down on calories. But what you may not know is that eating too few calories can actually backfire and sabotage your weight loss efforts. You'll go into a starvation mode, causing you to store fat, and this is why many people go into a standstill. So you basically stop losing weight and you go into this plateau. Why is this happening? Because you are literally slowing down your metabolism. You're not consuming enough calories and your body sees that as starvation. So we are designed to consume calories and we are designed to consume calories to keep us alive. If we don't get enough, our bodies will shut down. This is why people who cut their calories too much may reach that plateau and they won't lose weight. And what happens is you become frustrated, you're not losing the weight even though you've cut down, and you begin to feel stressed. And most people tend to overeat once again, binge, and regain all the weight. So when you go on a diet, you're literally paying for a quick fix, all right? You may buy certain diet books or weight loss pills. People tend to abuse laxatives or drink certain diet teas, slimming drinks, and even meal replacements. But none of this is necessary for effective fat loss. And a lot of these diets are going to promise you immediate results. Sprinkle this on your food for 30 days and lose 30 pounds. Okay? Eat less of this and more of that and you'll lose. I don't think so. These diets are there and they're designed to appeal to people who are desperate for that quick fix. And ultimately, it's false advertising. It'll put the spotlight on food and eating and it'll create a negative outlook on certain foods for you. You'll have this unhealthy look at food and develop a very unhealthy relationship with what you're eating because diets don't allow room for lapses or cravings. But what's going to happen when you severely restrict your calories is you are going to crave, eventually relapse, and then binge, leaving you caught in this vicious cycle of trying to be thin, going on a fad diet, starting to crave, all right, eventually binging, going back to your old eating habits and regaining all the weight. So then, what's the secret? What's the secret to weight loss? What's going to help us shed the weight and keep it off? How can we make the changes? Well, folks, there is no secret. Whatever your goal is, you can get there if you're willing to work for it. If you're willing to understand, if you're willing to get educated about it, if you're willing to put these goals into place and stay on track. What we need to do is look at eating in a whole new and different kind of way. You're going to need to take the negative focus off of food and educate yourself on the food you are eating and the effect it plays on your body. So this is going to allow you to make educated decisions about food that you should be eating, because ultimately the best diet is the one you don't even know you are on. Don't go on a fad diet. Eat a healthier diet altogether. Thank you.